Hello everybody, welcome to mail day number 5. We've got an ABU Games shipment, one more of them. And in this shipment there are some extras that I needed for my collection. Mostly there were some interesting Legends cards, Italian, and I also needed some extra copies. Okay, how do I open that? Wait, there should be a way. There should be a good way to do that without using a knife or anything of the sort. I'll just rip it open. Alright, here we go. Not the most elegant way to open the cards, but who cares? So, here are some unique photos of the cards. Unique cards for which the photos were provided, and some non-unique cards. We'll start with the smaller things first. This is what many people call not only the worst land ever printed, but many people would say the worst old school Magic card in many ways. So, you know the story. The big bonus is obviously that the art is great. This definitely reminds me of some fantasy novel of the 90s or the 80s, and when you're thinking of somebody, you know, casting Turn to Stone and the dragon and people fighting on the bridge and this fantasy landscape, the art is simply amazing. The art is amazing here. But Sorrow's Path, you know, swapping it doesn't even give you mana, swapping blockers and dealing 2 damage to your creatures, and oh yeah, that's terrible, that's terrible. Anyway, just for the collection, I'm gonna have this. One of the cards, Lady of the Mountain, 5/5, 6 mana, nothing to talk about really. This Mister, 5/3, just like Juggernaut, 6 mana. Doesn't make any sense. Does it make any sense to you that a barbarian is blue and white, which is the color of order? This is so random. Legends deserve separate talk of their own. Floral Spasm. If he attacks and is not blocked, you can destroy an artifact of your opponent. So basically, the card doesn't deal damage because of that, but no, I'm not sure how useful this can be. Don't think it really is. Mana Vortex, one of the cards I needed, probably the last card of the dark that I needed for my collection. Well, along with Sorrow's Path, along with it, and Mana Vortex. People start sacrificing lands. You sack a land. I mean, it's fair that you sack a land and your opponents then sacks a land. So, yeah. This one, City of Shadows, some interesting synergy with some cards there can be. The infamous creature, Wood Elemental, and you know, just think about how bad it is. Think about how bad this card is. You have to sacrifice untapped forests. I mean, if it didn't say untapped, I think many of us would forgive them for making this card, but they must be untapped. So let's say you've got 8 mana. You cast this one for 4 mana, and you have 4 untapped forests. He'll be 4/4 for... I don't even want to talk about that. Mold Demon, one of the cards I kind of hesitated to acquire, mostly because of its creepy art. I don't really like this kind of art to be in my binder. Also, by looking at it, you would think that it was from the Dark, because the Dark had a lot of creepy art, but no, it's actually from the Legends by Jasper Murphys, sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. So, of course, the art. I actually got it to appreciate this art a little bit later. It is interesting. I mean, 6/6 for 7 mana, 2 swamps. Sacrificing 2 swamps. I'm looking at you, Wood Elemental. This is how you make a creature with a decent drawback. So, not really playable compared to Nightmare, I mean. One more card from the Legends. This one is actually a part of the cycle, where you have got this particular... No, I'm sorry, it's not a part of the cycle. I was thinking, you know, that this one prevents different creatures from having land walk, but it's not. So for 4 for 6 mana, first strike, and a legendary land walk. Legendary land walk. I mean, it could be relevant sometimes. 6 mana, yeah, probably too much. But sometimes combination of abilities. This guy, for a very long time I thought that I had this card, but I actually don't. The interesting thing about him, Jacques Le Vert, and you know that Le Vert in French means green, so he's a green guy, and obviously he gives green creatures +0, +2. And, you know, again, the interesting exclusion that, you know, cards like the Lords, I guess we can call them, they usually pump other creatures, but not themselves. And very often this was made by introducing a different creature type. So, for instance, you know, they were a Lord, but they gave Merfolk +1/+1 originally. And this one doesn't say other creatures. So he is by default 3/4, which is actually not so bad for old school Magic, not so bad for 4 mana, 3/4. And basically he's like a castle for your green creatures, but this is not limited to untapped creatures. So a really decent card, I would say, a really decent card. This is a mountain, and why is it there? I will be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure why did I get it. I think this is the 4th edition mountain that I needed for my collection, but why? Okay. Wall of Fire. Wall of Fire. Didn't have the playset, so just wanted to have it. Let's not forget the Mage in the background. All Richard Thomas Wall of Fires have got this. Moss Monster, a better Ironwood Tree Folk, as we remember. One more. Grizzly Bears again. And this one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Alpha Cut? Is it the Alpha Cut card? No. Okay, I must be tripping, I'm sorry. Okay. So, Lady Orca, again one of the legends I thought I had, but I didn't. 7/4, at least it's not 7/3, right? So it's at least bolt proof. And 7 power for 7 mana, not so bad. Don't really appreciate the art, don't like it for some reason. Again, Grizzly Bears. Satire for tapping, he takes control. You know, the Old Men of the Sea style. Or the Preacher style, should I say. Takes control of the target legend. I mean, it's not relevant really in many different situations, but if your opponent has a legend, in some Highlander decks could be very useful and powerful. It's a pity that it's only 1/1 body, easily killable, but it's not a bad card for sure. Oh no, here we go with these amazing Fields of Dreams. Fields of Dreams, except that they are actually Italian, but still decided to get a playset for the amazing deck that could be with them. And the art here is very interesting, very exotic, very bright, colorful. Hazazon Tamar, one of the high-end legends, comes with a bunch of Sand Warriors. The pity is that they only come into play during your upkeep, so you will not be able to block with them right away. but the ability is pretty powerful, and this card can make up for some, interesting plays. Divine Intervention, a card that was banned. Can you believe that this card was actually banned? Because it doesn't win you the game, but it makes the game end in a draw. And this is really a weird card. And what's going on with this particular artwork? This is so random, but this is why I love old school. This is why I love old school. Of course, there are easier ways to end the game in a draw, like casting Earthquake or Hurricane, when they are both close to dying. So it's not really an impressive achievement. Anyway, this is the Gravity Sphere. That is an enchant world and makes all creatures lose flying. This is just one extra copy. This was mint. No, it's not mint, I'm sorry, it's Blade SP. Yeah, I'm not sure what these conditions were in, but they look fine to me. They look fine. I mean, I'm not a real collector. I am collecting Magic cards, but mostly because I can play with them. It's not just such a hobby of collecting. And again, yeah, you see, this is not really an expensive card, but they decided to make a photo of it and assign a unique number to it, which I always appreciate. If you are hesitating between choosing some cards, you can choose the wear that is more negligible to you, and this is very important. I mean, I always appreciate service of ABU games. The service that they provide is always nice, but of course it comes with a premium for many cards. Many high-end cards are not a good thing to get from them. But then again, let's say Card Kingdom doesn't sell Italian cards, so for me this is actually not so important. Planar Gate makes your creatures 2 mana less expensive, so yeah, there it is. Some random cards, mostly from Legends. And this was Mail Day 5. There's also going to be Mail Day 6 and Mail Day 7 with what many consider to be the most iconic Magic card ever. So stay tuned, and Mail Day 6 is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be just humongous. So I will see you soon. Bye.